Welcome, Star Wars fans, to episode 129 of Tatooine Sons. Regardless of how they may feel about the sequel trilogy, most Star Wars fans can agree that Kylo Ren was the best character in the three films. He's at the same time overly confident and terribly fragile. Kylo Ren is a great example
like
of
most
the
Star Wars fans.
Yes.
Anyway,
Kylo Ren is a great example of the truth that the villain is the hero of his own story. But first, there's exciting news about the Kenobi and Cassian series, along with more rumors about not one, but two Star Wars Rebels follow-up series.
Let the past die. Kill it, if you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
It's time for Tatooine Sons.
It's true. All of it.
What is the name of the Porg on the Millennium Falcon?
Force is strong in my family.
What do you think his name is? It's a big moment.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Maybe Turbis?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Turbis? Pablo, if you're listening to this live stream, that Porg's name is now Turbis. It's a good Star Wars name.
We're not done yet.
These guys recorded an awesome podcast called Tatooine Sons. Everybody listen to it.
Welcome, Star Wars fans. This is Tatooine Sons, your weekly look at all things Star Wars from the unique perspective of a father sharing his love for amazing space fantasy saga with his two sons. I am BB Nate, and I'm joined first by my brother Samuel the Hutt.
That music's loud, y'all.
It is.
Yeah, he's got to speak over it. So anyway,
A treat to Star Wars fans. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're not a Star Wars fan, then you better get ready for a lot more Star Wars TV shows to start coming out.
all right. So I'm gonna be a confessor for Sandy.
Not until I finish my intro, okay? Wait.
Okay.
Of course, you can't have stars without bizarre father figures. So on that note, here's my dad who interrupts the Bowtie Jedi guy.
That's true. Samuel the Hutt, what is your favorite Star Wars movie of all time?
Last Jedi.
And why can't it be that this whole sequence right here?
Oh, we're going to play it again.
Let the past die. Kill it.
So yeah, there's a
if you have
pre-echo
to.
there.
That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
He doesn't remember where this scene is. He was claiming it was Rise of Skywalker.
No, I never
he
claimed
was
it was
claiming
Rise
it
of
was a
Skywalker.
force time.
I
No.
think it's Force time.
No.
I
It's
agree with
past
you.
Die. It's in the throne room. It's right after they kill
I
Snoke.
agree with you, but I also agree with Sam. He does say that you're nobody at the end. He doesn't
there's
say
this weird-
He doesn't say you're nobody. He does say though, who were your parents, and then the whole.
But there's the
nobody
weird
thing
echoes and Force time noises.
All right. Okay.
because all the sound goes out, and it's just Rey and him focusing, and it's just
The best Star Wars movie. Yes, I said it. I'm not going
Fight
to
me.
apologize.
I like Solo. Solo's
It's
pretty
good,
good.
but it's not
Solo's-
better.
Solo is my go-to when I just want to watch a Star Wars movie and I don't want to like get involved in the saga. Solo's my movie.
Yeah.
Go to.
We need more solos.
What was that?
Types of
That's
movies.
from mosquito bites. They're hurting now. I feel like there's like a knife going.
Well,
outside.
if you're wondering what's going on, let's explain just briefly. First of all, we're back.
Yeah.
We're
It's
really
been
back.
3 or 4 weeks since I don't remember when we did a show. It was before your birthday, so it was a month ago.
Yeah,
We
about-
basically
about
took a whole month off.
Yeah,
And now we're back to legit audio podcasts. this
Well, I
time.
mean, we're going to do some other stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
And there's more coming and all of that. But we decided that for the show, and we'll talk more about this in the future. In fact, on Tuesday night, 5:15 p.m. or so Eastern, we're going to be at Oga's Cantina at Galaxy's Edge, Batu East. We're going to be drinking. What drink are we getting here?
I'm probably going to get a carbon freeze if they
Carbon
have one.
freeze.
I don't know.
I'm going to try something
Thanks, Nate.
different. I might, since it's 5 o'clock, I might.
It's 5
Yeah,
o'clock
it's 5
somewhere.
o'clock somewhere. Might try one of the alcoholic drinks this time if
Yeah, why not?
if my amazing and wonderful wife will let me.
She'll
do so.
drive though.
No, I've got to drive separately to Batu that week. This episode.
Oh, that's
but that'll
right.
be like 3 hours later when we leave. I'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna share some of those changes. We're gonna go live on Facebook on our Facebook page. We're going to go live on Tuesday evening from Oga's Cantina, and we're going to do a big drawing. Some of you have been participating in a Twitter survey, sort of back and forth over the last few weeks, giving us some ideas about the show, and we want to reward that. We said that everybody that participated answering the questions, we would put into their name in a hat for a drawing, and so we're going to give away one of the Turbis Porg
Cliff Dweller
drink mugs from Galaxy's Edge from Oga's Cantina. So we're going to give that away. And we're going to do some other changes. Some new things are going to be coming on the video side on Facebook, but also on YouTube, which I'm excited about. And we'll share those on Tuesday evening from Galaxy's Edge. But how have you guys been doing? What have we been up to for the last month?
Not much.
A lot of birthday stuff with Nate, which was cool.
Happy birthday, BB Nate.
Thank you.
Our friends from California, they're brothers, but we're both
and they're right in the same age
right
range
about
as
our
each
age.
of you. So.
We flew them down for about a week or so. We hung out. That was a lot of fun. And you had some business stuff.
I did my first travel of the COVID era.
Ooh, how was that?
It was fine. I mean, Southwest gave us there's nobody in the middle seats on Southwest.
So did you sit in the middle seat?
I love that. No, you're not allowed to sit in the middle seats.
You are. You can move if there's nobody else in your party.
Well, anyway, I went on the way there. I sat on the aisle, and on the way back, I was able to take a whole row to myself. And so
Nice.
It was
Take a
fine.
nap on that thing.
Yeah, it was perfectly fine.
Cool.
I don't remember what I watched. Oh, I watched Ocean's 8 on the way back. That's when I watched Ocean's 8.
Sorry.
It was like the same story as Ocean's 11 without the chemistry between the actors. So anyway, hold on, let me see if I can find.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. So anyway, we did that.
Yeah, they came down. We hung out for a week. That was a lot of fun. So we just didn't end up recording then. And then we went to Alabama, Orange
Shores.
Beach, Gulf
Red Deck
Shores.
Riviera. Yeehaw!
Our mom had some doctor's appointments up there because her favorite doctor in the world is there. So she was.
He's
really
the doctor that delivered Nathan.
So he's a good doctor.
He's a great doctor.
So we went up there for a couple weeks and hung out, did the test obviously, but it was more like a vacation for us all. I mean, we were like right on the beach. It was beautiful.
I worked every day, but
but I mean, it was still real nice weather, nice view. It was cool.
Yeah,
fun.
It was a lot of fun. How was your birthday?
Fine.
What was like the highlight of your entire birthday experience this year?
There wasn't much.
Wow.
All right. Thanks.
Well, I'm just
Nate.
saying there wasn't much. It was kind of a normal day. I mean, there's not much. There wasn't. It's just
okay. So of your gifts, then, what was your?
I mean, I guess we did kind of spread your birthday celebration out over a week or so.
I guess
because of the friends and going to Disney and stuff. So the actual birthday was still a big deal. I mean, we had family over. We had a big dinner
family.
and stuff.
It was the first time we've had all of that that side of the family together for a birthday party.
Yeah,
so.
for a long time. I think we had it like once before.
I don't remember. Anyway,
but
what was your favorite gift you got?
I don't know. Oh, come on, Nathan. I can't think of this.
You got a comic book that's about 6 inches thick. Well, it's not a comic book. It's an omnibus or whatever. See, I've got to get my terminology right. It weighs about 30 pounds.
10.
Okay. And then you got another comic book that's about half that size. You're almost halfway through the big 10-pound book.
It's good.
You got 3 Batman statues.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, those like collectible statues.
Those are cool.
Those
Those are really cool.
I do.
We actually found out recently that Mom did actually get those comic books.
Oh, yeah, so here's the story. So the day of Nathan's birthday, August 8th, we're getting the birthday ready. Mom's packing up the presents in different gift bags and such, and she gets all angry. She's all upset about
I got
Amazon.
a bad feeling about this.
Amazon.com didn't send Nathan's gifts, and we had so much happening, we didn't even realize it, and she's
flustered.
She's pissed. Okay, and
family friendly.
And anyway, sorry about that. And so she comes to me and she's like, I had to chat with Amazon and they're sending them, but they're not going to be here for a couple of days. And so we're just going to have to tell Nathan he got something else and he'll get them in a couple of days and all this other stuff. So they did. Amazon was great. They sent them out. I think
no problem.
Monday is when we
like
got them.
right before we left. I got them like
the day we left.
I think so.
Oh yeah, so we left Tuesday night.
Threw them in your backpack.
So Tuesday afternoon. So Tuesday you get the gifts and you open them, and they're the massive omnibus comics, and DC comics are your thing. So Batman and everything.
You have plenty of reading material.
Yeah. So we're all good. And then I guess it was
Just a couple days ago.
Just
Yeah,
Friday?
I think it was Friday because we were cleaning.
Yeah, I was in here doing some work, and Christy, mom, she comes in and she peeks her head in the door, and she's got this look on her face.
I got a bad feeling about this.
She basically said,
"Impressive. Every word in that sentence was wrong."
So here's what happened. So she put them in a spot where she wouldn't forget where they were.
So
and so that I wouldn't find them,
and so Nathan wouldn't find them for like when he was helping around the house cleaning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she put them in there, and she reached into this drawer, her nightstand drawer, to get something or put something away, and there they were, the ones that were originally sent. She had received them. She had taken them out of the packaging and actually put them in her nightstand.
So she wouldn't forget them.
So she wouldn't forget them, and then totally forgot that they arrived.
You know, if I'm going to be completely honest, that is a terrible hiding spot because I put away stuff that shouldn't be on top of her dresser in her drawers. Because
So did you know that they were in there? And
No,
just been
no,
hiding
no.
it this whole time? No. So anyway.
But she was chatting with Amazon.
So she gets on the phone with Amazon. She's like, "I'm so sorry, I made a mistake," and they're like, "Yeah, just keep them." So
and those things are not cheap.
No.
They are not cheap.
I was like telling Nate, I'm like, you should sell those and make a pretty penny off of them because they're in mint condition.
Yeah, they're still wrapped in their original packaging and everything else. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
That was
All
cool.
right. You guys want to talk about? Well, we don't have a poll for this week because it's been like a month since we've done anything.
Right.
But we're gonna have a poll for next week, and it's gonna be about our main topic. So you guys just want to go ahead and like do the poll stuff?
No, I'll just do the main topic and then talk about it.
Are you brainless? I never asked that question until after I've done it.
What?
That was way slowed down.
Original version of the podcast poll results bumper.
You sped it up for the video,
Right,
and it
'cause
sounds
Facebook-
weird now.
So here's the deal. I mean, we're back to the old school way we used to do things.
We're gonna be. It's
a
gonna be
lot
no
more fun.
filter.
No filter. A lot.
We're
more
not.
fun.
We're going to be talking over each other a lot. We didn't do that a lot in the video
Explain
because
why.
No,
we
we're
had
not.
we had a captioning service, and it had a really hard time when we were talking over each other. So it was already a pain as it is.
It
but we
already.
didn't need more
It
of a
took
pain.
like maybe 4 hours without us talking over each other for a 25-minute episode. So with us talking over each other and it not
So now we
noticing
don't
what's-
care.
Yeah.
We're just going to talk.
And then I realize now that I had sped that one up and used it as the hot takes bumper.
Yes.
On the other,
Oh,
but this one has
yeah.
always been the podcast poll results bumper.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I forget what the hot takes one is.
We'll find out in a second. Here's going to be the poll for next week because this
Okay.
week we're talking about Kylo Ren and kind of how he's complicated. Is the
It's
right
complicated.
word with him, and you know we've got our car sound effects board back on our dashboard now
Yay.
instead of inserting them in later, and so you know they're a lot of fun.
It's gonna
so.
be pauses.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun. So anyway, next week's poll, and you guys, we really want you to go on Twitter, and we're gonna put it up on Facebook. Participate, guys. Be a part of this. That we need you interacting with our Twitter poll. Some of you guys on Twitter said that one of the things that you really love about the show is the poll. So if you're not voting in the poll, then what's wrong with you? Anyways, all right. So no, but you guys, the people that said that, always vote on the polls. So anyway, which sequel trilogy film gave us the best version of Kylo Ren? Force Awakens, Last Jedi, or Rise of Skywalker? I'm going to start with you, BB. Nate, you go first because
I like The Last Jedi.
you like the Last Jedi
I do.
version of Kylo Ren.
Yes.
What is it about that version of Kylo?
I don't
Ren?
know. I mean, in Force Awakens, he's completely bad, and then in Last Jedi, he seems like he's going both ways. And so I like the character development we see in that movie that leads up to Rise of Skywalker. But I like the pulls to both sides in Last Jedi. So
Awesome. What about you, Sam?
Yeah, I'd have to go with The Last Jedi, too. I mean, we're all a little bit biased here, but
Because Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie.
it shows his flaws in a way. He's not just this evil bad guy who wants to, who kills his dad and all this. No, he's a dude who's having a hard time, like deciding where he fits in the galaxy. Plus, we see him shirtless, so
Oh, that's
Ben
really
Swallow.
creepy, Sam.
All right,
I'm not holding back.
So I'm gonna
Wow.
I'm gonna give you a quick question.
Samuel the
Dan.
Hutt likes shirtless
Hey.
Kylo Ren.
No, that's like goals. Like I'm putting that up on my wall, and I'm like, I need to get that swole. That's my goal. Once I look like him, I'm ready.
This is the way.
Oh, that's new.
We've been using that one on the videos. for
Well,
a long
I mean,
time.
it's new for us to hear it.
yeah. Anyway, Samuel,
So
or
I'm
BB Nate?
gonna give you a question.
Okay, give it to me.
Do you prefer The Last Jedi or the entirety of Star Wars Rebels?
Ooh. Wow. Nate, that's rough. That was kind
I
of.
know
That was a
my,
cheap
I know
move.
my answer.
It's very different.
I know my answer immediately.
It's a different experience, okay, and it's different reasons behind
Okay.
it. But it's a great question, BB Nate, and I'm glad
He's
that we're
stalling.
No,
He's
I'm
stalling.
thinking it through. All right, I don't know if I could pick one. It's like it's asking you which you know, like if somebody came to me right now and asked me which one of you I love the most.
Obviously, Nate.
Not true. It's hard. It's like trying to figure out who you know which child you love the most. You can't pick,
Right?
But as far as films go, I think that The Last Jedi is spectacular.
Okay.
And every time I think of that, and every time I say that, there's only one thing that comes to my mind as being wrong with The Last Jedi, and I've talked about it a lot. Do you guys remember what it is?
No.
No. Okay.
Remind us.
It's when the way that Luke treats the lightsaber at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of flipping it over his shoulder, if he throws it down exactly the way that he threw the lightsaber down in Return of the Jedi, it is the perfect movie, in my opinion.
I agree.
Even the comedy with Poe Dameron and all that stuff.
I agree.
It's perfect. I love Canto Bight. We've talked about that. We've investigated that. I think that Star Wars The Last Jedi is the ultimate Star Wars movie. Rebels is a different experience. There are episodes of Rebels I just
they're kind of
could
lame.
skip and never go back to.
Practically the first season.
No,
I
our
mean,
season gets good
at the end, but at the beginning you're kind of
Some
the
of the
first
episodes
the
can be
first
pretty
two
set up.
episodes you're like, this is great, and then from there on to the end you're like,
It's because it throws in the droid arc, but the droid arc actually has other stuff in there that's really
the
got some
droid
good
arc
stuff.
isn't as bad as the droid arc in Clone Wars. Though.
That's true.
This is true.
That's true. So it's a different experience. It's a longer experience. You know, it's
payoff,
Like,
I feel like is better.
love spaghetti. Okay.
I like
really
pizza
love
too.
Spaghetti. And I really, really love a nice juicy filet mignon.
Me too.
They're different though. And you can't really say, well, which one do you love better? I love both.
Spaghetti.
How about a filet mignon
Sam doesn't
inside
like
of spaghetti?
Ooh.
What?
A filet mignon with the side of spaghetti. All right.
No, like,
That's not a
what
bad
about,
combo.
like inside though, like
All right.
you cut up the
We
steak.
should probably
and
move
put it
on. We're like
inside of
17
spaghetti.
minutes into this, and we haven't talked about anything.
Talking about
All right.
spaghetti.
Kathleen Kennedy is limiting Kenobi.
Oh no!
The Cassian Andor series could begin filming soon, and those Rebels. We talked a lot about Rebels already, but as those Rebels rumors, they just won't go away. That's all up next on Hot Takes.
This is where the fun begins.
Well, you want the bad news or the really bad news?
Impressive. Every word in that sentence was wrong.
All right, so I may have to make sure the mute button's back on now since we're doing it one take from now on.
Yeah.
We're gonna,
Dad doesn't have to edit.
so I don't have to edit for 3 days. All right, casting. Oh, well, no, we don't talk about that yet.
No, we're not
Kenobi.
talking- not
the
yet.
Kenobi series has finally begun filming.
Hello there.
Yeah, so we've got some new updates on the Kenobi series coming to Disney Plus sometime. I don't know, like it could be 2021, 2022, 2030. We don't know for sure yet. Maybe they're waiting for him to be the same age as Sir Alec Guinness.
Oh, that'd be pretty meta.
Anyway, the filming is supposed to begin in September, so like this is the 31st, so it's tomorrow. So that's pretty cool.
Really? No,
well,
it's the
I mean,
30th.
Come on, Dad.
Hello, this is the magic.
Oh, never
of this
mind.
recording.
It's the 31st.
Yeah, exactly. The production name is being reported as Pilgrim.
Interesting.
What do you think about that?
I looked up the definition just to make sure I had pilgrim right, and it's like someone who leaves to go to a new land because of religious reasons. So maybe
You know what? That still
it
kind
of
of
works.
Sense.
It's bearish Val level stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
Pretty
Interesting.
good. Kathleen Kennedy has confirmed that it's going to be a limited series.
So
What does
sorry
that
for all those people that wanted like a 30 episode
multiple
season
season, multiple
thing.
yeah. So a limited series is where they just do a handful of episodes and it's just one season. It's just
Or it's just like they might do more seasons. That might happen. They considered Sherlock limited series if they had 4 seasons.
but then no, it got to the point where in Sherlock, like when Moriarty, spoiler alert, when Moriarty like blows up everything or Sherlock dies, you know that they're having another season at that
Right.
point.
Yeah.
I think in this one they're saying they're not. In fact, a couple things that I researched in preparation for this conversation. When discussing the show back after they announced it at D23 last year, 2019, right about now,
Okay.
In 2019. Anthony Carboni from the Star Wars show stated that the series takes place 8 years after Revenge of the Sith. Okay. And Ewan McGregor then stated that the series is only 6 episodes long, which, of course, at this point, Kathleen Kennedy seems to be confirming.
Okay.
That's the length of this. How do you guys feel about Kenobi being a limited series?
Yeah, right there, Nate.
There you go.
He does this. Okay, so let's just behind the scenes.
So there's a little bit of a problem. So
Nate,
not
no. We got to tell him what that is. Okay, Nathan keeps hitting his earphones on the microphone.
Well, he's sitting too close and then he's
I'm
turning to look at something.
I'm looking at
pull
my
the paper up.
Well, because
no, it's
who cares?
Fantastic sound quality.
It's immersive. Crap. What was I saying? We were talking about the show. And it being
Nathan had something to say.
I was
watch
first.
The language, you guys.
What did we say?
You said the P word and you said the C word.
Crap.
Oh, jeez. BB Nate.
We are a family-friendly podcast.
Oh, that is it's PG. This is PG. All right?
Yeah, anyway, all right. So were you going to
we
say
are not
else?
1970s PG.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
What?
Did you have anything about the actual show to talk
No.
about? Okay. Samuel, that.
Right. So we were talking about the
Kenobi series, limited series.
Yeah. I like it considering that this was supposed to be a movie at one point. I have a feeling that with 6 episodes, it will end up being longer than a movie. I don't know about Return of the King, but it will be probably longer than a general Star Wars
6
movie.
episodes, if they go an hour episode or 45 minutes an episode, then you're looking at an hour and a half times 3. So that's 4.5 hours.
That's
Return of the King.
Return of the King
level.
Yeah.
Do you think they're doing what the Snyder Cut is going to be doing with releasing them in episodic form and then cutting them into one thing to make a movie for one sitting watch?
So you're saying like it was a movie, but they chopped it up to release it as a series?
No, what they're doing
reverse
with
that.
The Snyder Cut is they're releasing it into a 4-part movie, hour-long series.
Okay.
And then after that, they're cutting it all into one movie for single viewing. So do you think they'll be doing that with...
Kind of like what we always thought they would do with Siege of Mandalore from Clone Wars.
Yeah, I think they could do that. Although, I mean, again, it depends on how long the episodes are. If they're 45 minutes, yeah, you could probably get away with it. But if they're... I doubt this will happen. But if they're closer to like Sherlock level, then you're running into some problems.
No.
Well, I don't think they'll be Sherlock level. Because
those
Sherlock
are movies
are
in
almost
themselves.
2 hours each.
Those are movies inside of themselves.
So let's just go with a basic 6 1-hour episode idea here. Okay. How do you feel about the limited series 6 hours of Kenobi on Tatooine? 8 years after Revenge of the Sith.
I think that's the perfect length. That way you don't start... That way there's not a lot of filler, I feel like. With that limited amount of space to work with, it's all going to be story. You're just driving the plot forward every episode, much like The Mandalorian. I mean, The Mandalorian had a couple fillers here and there, but for the most part, it did drive the story pretty quickly.
What do you think?
I just don't know what they're going to be doing on Tatooine. You look at Tatooine and you're like, that's a boring planet.
Have you seen Mos Eisley?
I have, but...
Well, we've talked about this on the show. We've talked about the idea
army.
of different topics that could be on there. You've got Owen and Beru. You've got him watching over Luke.
Oh, what if it's like a sitcom like Friends? Kenobi.
What?
Just like
where did that come from?
You've got Ewan McGregor, like the the Family Ties intro and stuff like that. The big smile, the grin.
No, it's like the cantina, but with Cheers. Cheers with the cantina.
It could happen.
I need a Star Wars sitcom now.
Yeah. I do. That'd be fantastic.
Instead of Cheers, right? No.
Where were we?
I don't remember. So
I think you're talking about what it's actually going to be.
So the time frame, though, let's think about this now that I'm going back and I'm it's actually starting to happen. They're getting ready to film. That leaks are going to get out. Some stuff's going to start coming out. Rumors about things happening. 8 years after Revenge of the Sith, obviously Luke is 8 years old on the planet. Where's that put it in the timeline with Solo? And
we don't know how long Solo takes place.
Yes, we do.
We don't.
It's like 10 years.
No, we don't.
It's like 10 years before Battle of Yavin.
We know this for a fact.
Yeah. So that's at the same time period.
Yeah.
Was there only about a 20-year gap between...
19. They're 19. The kids are. Luke and Leia.
Yeah, that would be right about then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So does this go back to the idea of Solo? They were going to announce Kenobi after Solo. it could tie in with Boba. So maybe some Boba Fett is in here.
Yeah, I
maybe
need Boba Fett.
Maybe you get some Maul. Maybe you get some Kira. Maybe you get some Jabba the Hutt on Tatooine. You get Solo showing up with Chewbacca to go do that big score that Dryden Boss was, or that not Dryden Beckett was going to go to Tatooine for. Could this be tying all that together and giving us the opportunity for Solo and some of these other things?
And does this take place before or after the Maul battle? Because we got to think about this.
Which Maul battle are we talking about? Twin Sons?
Rebels.
Yes.
It takes place. We know it takes place after.
After?
No, Twin Sons takes place
afterwards.
Just after this. It takes place just at least no more than like a year or two before A New Hope, because Rebels starts taking place 5 before the Battle of Yavin. 5 before the Battle of Yavin.
And plus, Kenobi's not super old at this point, like the 8 years.
No, Ewan McGregor's Kenobi's not going to be white-haired Alec Guinness Kenobi.
I really wish we could see a live-action Twin Sons battle.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but from the perspective
that's a
of
good
Kenobi,
point, though, BB Nate, because you're not going to have multiple seasons of this. So if they're not having multiple seasons, they're not going to be able to build up to, okay, so we're starting 9 years or 8 years after Revenge of the Sith, and now they're going to do a couple years within one season, a couple years within another, and build it and bridge all the way to A New Hope. We're not going to see that bridge. We're going to get we're going to get the Kenobi movie expanded on with extra content built into it with this. So what's the story of the Kenobi movie that they were originally going to do?
No, that's the.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, again, I'm kind of with Nathan a little bit. I know we discussed what could be happening on Tatooine at this time, but I'm having a hard time remembering what it was or what could even be happening here that would be a good plot for the story. I'm sure they'll come up with something and it'll make total sense in the movie.
Of course.
But I'm not a movie maker or a writer, and I'm not smart, so I can't figure it out right now.
But I can understand why anthologies were made. I can understand why Rogue One was made. Figure out how the plans of the Death Star were stolen. Right. That's really cool. What the team was. I can understand how Solo was, because you wanted to see his origin and how he came to be in the rebellion. That makes sense. What about Kenobi?
I don't know, but Ewan McGregor says he's more excited about this than he was anything that he did in the prequels.
Well, because George Lucas isn't at the helm writing it. Because I'm
not
saying that George Lucas was a terrible director or writer or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he wasn't the best writer. I mean, you gotta go back. go.
I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't the best writer, but he's totally not the best writer.
He isn't. I mean, it's just this.
It'll be interesting to see. And actually, in the context of when he said that he's more excited about this than he was anything he did in the prequels, it was in the context of filming in the volume. He was talking about how hard it was to film in the green screens and the blue screen.
Everything was green.
And he's like, literally, he says, now if you're on this, in this volume, he's like talking about the technology that they're using for the Mandalorian, but they've got these, he's explaining it to the interviewer like the interviewer didn't already know what he was talking about. He's got these amazing screens, and you can actually see, like, if you're in a snow planet, you're going to be in a snow planet, which that's not going to happen. I think that's why he said it like that.
It was completely opposite.
It was not going to happen. But
actually, no, there's a snowy part of Tatooine. It just doesn't get a whole lot of sun.
It's like got frozen caps.
Yeah, like Mars.
Polar, yeah. Exactly.
It's like one side never turns, like the sun never goes around
right,
it.
We should probably move on. Cool. All right, Kenobi is being directed by Deborah Chow, who was catapulted to Star Wars notoriety after directing 2 of the most highly rated episodes of Season 1 of The Mandalorian, Episode 3, The Sin, and Episode 7, The Reckoning.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
All right, so the Cassian Andor series could be coming sooner than expected.
Light it up.
Exactly. The guys over at Bespin Bulletin. All right, this is like one of those. This is like a conspiracy theory level like connections here. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Like we watched JFK this week.
Yeah,
that was crazy, wasn't it?
That was really kind of.
Our buddy
worrying.
Brad Tracy was like, he's gotten me thinking about the Kennedy assassination. He's on Twitter. You wouldn't know who he is. Anyway,
okay.
All right, let's see here. The guys over at Bespin Bulletin previously reported that production was going to restart in July on Cassian Andor, with the hopes that filming could begin in the fall. And now they're connecting dots on a Reddit post.
Oh, so it's totally legit, right?
Absolutely.
It's
it's
at
on
least
Reddit. It's got.
It's at least more reputable than we got this covered.
That's true. Well, Mike Zero could. No, anyway, where a makeup artist is claiming that he'll begin working in November on a Star Wars series at Pinewood Studios, and that his contract lasts 8 months. Apparently, Bestman Bulletin has also reported that the Cassian Andor series is expected to take about 8 months to film. So, all of that being said, all of those little threads that we're pulling on there, could we be seeing our first Cassian episodes? Because again, they're saying 8 months, right? So they start in November, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So that gets us to the end of June when filming is complete. Does that mean that we get to see Cassian Andor series in the fall of 2021, Samuel the Hutt? BB Dave was ready to jump in there after a curveball.
I think there's a lot to work out before then. With movies, you've got, it's like at least 2-3 years for it to be made. You good there, Nate? Okay. It takes a good 2-3 years of production before it's ready to be released. I'm not sure what the turnaround is for a TV show, or what it was like for The Mandalorian, because I'm going to use The Mandalorian as like a metric for this. If they're trying to be like The Mandalorian, then I imagine they need a pretty good amount of time before they're ready to release an episode. And if they haven't even started filming yet, I think a year is a really short turnaround for a TV show, especially one of that caliber. So
I think that's what they've been doing with The Mandalorian, though. They've been filming in a year and getting it out. Yeah, they've been. Once they developed the volume and figured out how to film in the volume, they've been able to tighten it all up.
Visual effects and all.
Yeah.
So what's to say we won't get Kenobi at the end of next year?
I know I'm saying the same thing with that too.
It's a difficult situation. We don't know how long these things take. At least I don't.
We don't even know if they're filming in the volume now that I'm thinking about it, because they're going to be at Pinewood Studios, which is in London.
Right.
I don't think that
we don't unless they built a second one. Anyway.
And just things take so long to edit, and editing just takes such a long process, especially for TV shows. If they're put into the sort of kind of format that Mandalorian is, and not like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that, where it's more set into a movie, it takes much longer because they have to make it seamless and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if we'll get it next year if it stops filming in June. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be getting it in fall. Early 2022, maybe, but
that'd be kind of cool. So they come out with Kenobi at the end of 2021, or do Mandalorian season 3 2021, and then maybe when that's over, they come out with Kenobi, and then when that's over, they come out with Cassian.
And then Rebels.
Like basically just doing series after series releases.
A lot.
I'll go for it. The Star Wars spy thriller, the Cassian Andor series, starring Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk. K2SO.
Yeah, I know who that is.
And showrun. I don't know if that's a real phrase, but
showran
by Tony Gilroy, who actually came in at the last minute to rescue Rogue One and was actually brought in to rescue this too. Interestingly, the series will also Tony Gilroy. He did like the Bourne movies.
No, yeah, I get that. I didn't say who.
Oh, okay.
I said
ooh. Oh, the series will also feature Adria Arjona. I tried to track it. Not how to do it. I'm so sorry. Stellan Skarsgård. You guys know who he is, right? He was
I think
Thor, the professor. In
yeah,
the doctor.
I was like, he is not
Kyle
Thor.
Soller, Denise Go, Genevieve O'Reilly is going to be reprising her role as Mon Mothma. All right. Kessel Run Transmissions is doubling down on the animated Rebels sequel and an Ezra Thrawn series as a possible rumor there.
I got a bad feeling about this.
All right, so here's how it goes. Noah Outlaw, which we've talked about several times on the show, tweeted again.
He's pretty reputable.
Well, sometimes. He's lost some of that reputation in the last few months because of the Mandalorian trailer that he swore was going to be released, and
there's just been a lot of problems.
It's been challenging. But anyway, he tweeted again, and then he followed it up with another tweet, and here's what it said. So the first tweet was, the animated Rebels sequel is still happening. And then right underneath it, in a reply to his own tweet, he said, now we have heard about live-action Ezra and Thrawn. LRM, which is LRM Online, which we've used them as a source before as well, is trustworthy and is on track with what's happening, but we know that the animated Rebels sequel is still coming. So is it even within the realm of possibility that Lucasfilm is preparing both a Rebels animated sequel and a live-action Ezra Thrawn series?
I really do hope so, because that'd be really cool. I hope they get the voice actors to play their characters, their respected roles, because they could figure out how to do it.
I think they could do it for Thrawn pretty easy, because makeup.
Blue.
I don't know.
Well, you got to think Ezra's
Mads
bald.
Mikkelsen playing Thrawn?
The voice of him?
No. Okay. You're saying to play him in the animated stuff. The same voice actors in the animated.
And in live.
That's what I thought. Live
yeah,
action.
I'm talking about live action.
Right.
Yeah. He was talking about live action too.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, you're talking about the voice actors from the animated
Yes.
series playing their respective characters in the live action.
Yes.
Right, yeah. I think the voice actor for Thrawn could work pretty well. If you look at him, it could work. Prosthetics, makeup,
He's
no
blue.
problem. Yes. You just have him hold his breath for a minute. And then Ezra, we've talked about this. I'm not sure it would work. Why am I forgetting his name?
Taylor Gray.
Taylor Gray. That was what I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
We've discussed. I don't think he quite has the Ezra look. So that might be.
I feel like he could do it though. I feel like if they try.
This is called BB Nate wanting it to happen.
I do want it to
Willing
happen.
into
Okay, and I just think.
But do you think we could get both, Samuel Hutt? Do you think we could get both a live action and an animated Rebels series?
I always thought that the stories of Ezra and Thrawn and whatever, right? Or I don't think they're over. And whatever this sequel to the Rebels would be, we're going to be one story.
Yeah,
like
I did too.
I thought you were going to have like two like storylines running together though. So like you have the Ahsoka and Sabine looking for them, and then you've got the side of Ezra and Thrawn having to put aside the differences to survive in the vacuum of space, and then eventually you see them interacting and stuff and getting closer to the goal. That's kind of how I always thought. Now that I think about it, you could split that up into two series, one being live action, one being animated. But then if their storylines are going to intersect, it'd be kind of weird to throw in.
It would be really cool, though, at the end. I mean, it'd be easy to take the live action characters and make them animated and put them
I think if you're going to do it, you take the animated characters
and make them live action. That's where I'm thinking that would be pretty cool.
I wouldn't mind it.
See that happen.
Okay, if we're going to be talking about that, this is me wanting stuff to happen again. I'd really like the Ezra Thrawn live action series to be Sabine and Ahsoka searching for them. Just let that be there, and maybe they can be in live action as well. That would be cool too. And then they show up at the end and they rescue. But I want the Rebels animated series to be coming after that because I want to see how they figure out that storyline. Because I mean, we have Jason Syndulla. We don't know what happens to him. We don't even know what's going on. We have Zeb now is a leader of the Lasats
with Callus.
With hot Callus.
No, he didn't have the wavy curl. But I'm just saying that I would like to see the aftermath because they can't wrap that up in.
All right, I get it. I get what you're saying. Now, before we head to the main topic, which we've already 40 minutes into the show and we haven't got to it yet.
Well, we can just.
Inverse.com had an interesting article in context here that suggests that Lucasfilm is setting Thrawn up to be the main bad guy of the future of Star Wars. What do you guys think about that?
No.
You're a big Thrawn fan. You don't like that?
I do not see Thrawn as being the big bad guy in this. I know he was a big bad guy in Rebels, but he is playing a much bigger game than we think. I don't think he takes sides, really. He's kind of on the Chiss's side, I think, ultimately, regardless of whether that means he sides with the Resistance, with the Rebellion or the Empire. I think he sided with the Empire because ultimately it was best for him at the time, but maybe now that the Empire's kind of losing, he's going to start siding with the Rebels just because that's what's best for him.
I would like to see Thrawn be the big bad guy. I think that'd be kind of cool, but I don't think it would work because for the casual fan who just watches the films and then he's the big bad guy of this new franchise, what's the stakes? Because we already know what will happen at the end, and we have no why would a person watch a whole other series? Other two series because Maul and there would be explanations and they would have to watch two series and then start watching this one. It would just be like, why would I spend my time with this if there's nothing for me to gain out of it?
Well, it is interesting to note that we have another Thrawn trilogy of novels debuting this week with Star Wars Thrawn Ascendancy Book 1, Chaos Rising.
You gonna get that, Sam?
We have to finish Treason, I think, before you can do
a lot more reading to do.
Well, Kylo Ren's story is absolutely fascinating. He's the son of two of the greatest heroes in the galaxy, the nephew of a legendary Jedi, and then don't even bring up his grandfather, which makes it all the more fascinating that Kylo Ren is obsessed with obliterating that past. It haunts him throughout the sequel trilogy, but only when he comes to terms with that past does he find the healing that he needs.
Bulky religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid.
Rebellions are built on hope.
Force is with me, and I am with the Force.
If you live long enough, you see the same eyes in different people.
All right. Before we get into our main discussion, BB Nate's over there bopping his head.
Jamming out to that amazing song.
It was a good song. It kind of feels like Ray's theme, but it's not because we got to actually purchase it.
Copyrighted to use.
Anyway, initial Kylo Ren thoughts, Sam.
Oh, I gotta go first. Crap.
Oh wait, we forgot to prep this. Go ahead.
No, I'll figure. Dang it! You're giving away the behind the scenes. Okay, so little behind the scenes. When we were doing the live show, we always really prepped not the video show. We really prepped the main topic,
and we still kind of do. We still figure out what we're going to talk about.
And normally we'll talk about what are you going to say for your initial thoughts, and we didn't do that this week. I mean, it's all live. We're just doing this one take, so I'm going to just come up with this off the cuff, but it's probably what I would end up saying anyway. It just won't be as intelligible. Kylo,
hold on.
Impressive. Every word in that sentence was wrong.
I don't think
I'm not
that
sure
word
that's a real word.
Intelligible.
It is,
but
maybe.
I don't think it worked.
Intelligible.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hold on. No.
No.
It is.
It is a word.
BB Nate, give me your thoughts on Kylo Ren.
Oh, what was the word that I thought of? I don't remember that.
Conversation. Conversate.
No, it was something else. It was something weirder. I'll find
anyway,
it. But
thoughts on
intelligible, able to be understood,
Urban
comprehensible.
Dictionary? Okay, it's a real
word. The word worked.
So now you
have
get to
big
be
brain.
intelligible about Kylo Ren. Go.
I think he's a really good he's a character that's a really good look into their mindset. So like a villain's mindset. No villain goes out thinking I'm going to be the bad guy, except Doofenshmirtz. They always think that they're doing what's right for themselves or the galaxy or whatever. But regardless, they think that's what is right in their mind. See, I'm having a hard time. So it's neat to see the conflict in his mind, which is why I said in the poll that The Last Jedi is the best version, or the best look at Kylo Ren. You're able to see the conflict and him doubting whether what he's doing is the right thing or not.
Okay.
BB Nate?
Yes.
Go.
Okay. Kylo Ren has always been a character that I'm like, because he has his moments where I like him and I feel like he's a good bad guy, and then I like the redemption of Ben Solo and I like all that, and then he destroys a console on a Star Destroyer and I'm like, I don't like that side of him. I don't like the destructive anger issues kind of.
But his grandfather wasn't like that.
Vader didn't destroy a console on freaking.
No, but he had anger issues.
Well, he didn't have too bad of anger
He
issues.
killed an entire village.
Because he wanted to. It's okay.
What? What village are we talking about?
The Sand People?
Oh yeah, that.
Well,
that was an anger issue moment. That was definitely.
That was definitely an anger issue, but he changed. Kylo Ren didn't. Okay,
he did.
Okay,
right, anyway.
Okay, but I do find him to be an interesting character, and I do like his arc. And reading Rise of Kylo Ren helped with the beginning of Force Awakens and his downfall, and that was really cool. Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah,
he's interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah, I haven't said interesting this one.
He hasn't. It's been good.
I'm gonna make sure to put that in.
I like Kylo Ren as a character of conflict. I think that you even talked about that Sam, was your idea there. There's this conflict within him. He's struggling, and he's trying to pretend to be confident. He's trying to pretend to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to pretend to be in control. He's trying to pretend to be... The opening sequences in The Last Jedi, where he's in the throne room with Snoke, and Snoke's like, take that ridiculous mask off, and you're weak, and he smashes it. That sequence is who Kylo Ren is. That's where we really see Kylo Ren.
Right.
The struggle with Ben Solo, the struggle with his past, the struggle with wanting to be more, the struggle with wanting to give it up. It's honestly what his character is all about. That scene that we played, earlier with the quotes, "Let the past die." That's what his story is all about. How does he deal with the past? So let's look at it from that perspective as we talk about Kylo Ren. You'll go first. I think it's Samuel the Hutt. Yeah.
So he deals with his past in the first movie by killing his dad. Short and sweet. Throughout the whole film, the past is being brought back up for him. He goes to Jakku, and he's met with Lor San Tekka, who we're not sure exactly what the backstory is behind him and Lor San Tekka, but we know that there's a fair history there. We know that he was with Luke, looking for artifacts and such. So we know that Kylo Ren and Lor San Tekka have a history, especially with their family. So first thing he does is he kills Lor San Tekka. And then throughout the film, he's being brought back up. He's talking to Snoke, and he's like, it's in the hand, the droid is in the hands of your father, Han Solo. Again, the past just keeps getting dredged back up for him. And eventually it just all becomes too much. So he does what he thinks he needs to do, which is kill the past so he can become who he's meant to be, or who at least he thinks he's supposed to be, or he's being told to be.
Why do you think, Samuel the Hutt, he's got this Vader obsession in the Force Awakens?
It's such a really good question that I've never really thought about. I think, I don't know. That's a really good question that I don't have an answer to right now.
Does he see Vader as being what he should aspire to become?
Okay. You got to think. And he heard Vader's voice, and that's what turned him to the dark side. So if he's ever feeling like he's conflicted to the light side, he's probably going to go to that voice that made him turn and be like, oh, this is the... I'm going to try to use a big boy word. Epitome of dark side.
Nice.
I guess that's what you
I guess
could
that
use.
works.
So let's go to that. He's what the dark side is, and so that's I think why he has an obsessive nature with Darth Vader, because it is eventually what made him turn to the dark side.
I think part of it is, this is kind of a silly, example, but you get what I mean. It's sort of like a rebellious phase to an extent, except taken to an extreme. He's being told by his mom, his dad, his uncle, he needs to be the light side, and he's not doing well with it. He can't handle it, so he goes completely the other way, in a sort of rebellion, thinking that that's what it needs to be. And who does he look to? Well, you look to the dark side itself, like Vader, who is the strongest dark side user that ever lived, and he's related to him, so it makes sense that he would look to that for guidance in a way.
That's really interesting. Last Jedi is
your movie.
It's my show. It's my show.
Movie.
No, it's a movie.
It's my
Your
movie.
show
My
is
show
Rebels.
It's a film.
Anyway, in this film, we see the ramifications that when we get to the opening, I alluded to it a few minutes ago. That moment with Snoke, that moment in the elevator where he's shattering his helmet, he's just going crazy with it. All of that indicates that what he thought would be accomplished when he murdered his father, when he kills Han Solo, it didn't happen. It's only gotten worse. The pull to the light that he talks about in The Force Awakens, all of that kind of stuff. It's still there, and it's still fighting. And then he wants the approval of Snoke. He needs the approval of Snoke now. He killed his own father.
Right.
And now he needs Snoke to say, you did the right thing.
That mask is cool.
Yeah, and he's just mocking him and manipulating and abusing, psychologically abusing him.
Oh, absolutely.
And we know he's sort of the puppet of Palpatine at this point. And then he gets in that, that fighter when the attack happens with the Resistance and they're going out, trying to take out the Resistance. And he's got this moment to do it all over again, right? Okay, maybe this time it'll work. I'm going to kill Leia. I'm going to kill my mother now. I'm going to end this, right? Maybe she's the pull to the light. And he's there and he has the opportunity and he
can't do it.
He backs off with it. So he's killed Han. Now he's had the opportunity. He's almost killed his mother and he backs off. And there's this struggle throughout the rest of the film where he's trying to figure out who he is the rest of the film. He thinks he knows who he is in The Force Awakens. The Last Jedi, he doesn't know who he is and he's struggling to figure it all out. And it kind of culminates in that moment in the throne room with the let the past die moment where he's trying to get Rey to, he's always looking for other people to affirm his path that he's on. He needs Snoke to affirm it. He needs Rey to affirm it by coming with him, right? All of these things are going on, and she rejects him for the light, to go back to the light, which is, I mean, come on. Everything up to that point in the film, you think that she's going with him or that they're swapping places at some point.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to the dark with him. She actually comes back to the light and rejects him and rejects his path, and he then has to double down, kind of talking about that earlier, double down on the dark side, right? Now I've got to become this, kill Luke. Now maybe if I kill Luke, this pull will be gone. And that's, that's what we see on Crate with it. So he's constantly trying to destroy his past instead of deal with his past. Deal with the broken relationship with Han. Deal with the broken relationship with his mother. Deal with the broken relationship with Uncle Luke. Instead of dealing with this, he wants to destroy it. So that moment is let the past die. Kill it if you have to. Nothing wrong with that. But then if it turns into destroying the things from your past, then that becomes a problem with it. So,
yeah, and then we have his culmination, the redemption of Ben Solo in The Rise of Skywalker. And this is where he actually sacrifices his life to save another, which is a lot different from Force Awakens and even Last Jedi. He was going to take a life in Last Jedi, but then he, in this one, sacrifices himself to save another life. So it's definitely a selfless act. And so I think that he is definitely, this is the end for him. This is what he was expecting, and now he's fully light. So it's all been built up to this, and this is actually when he embraces his past. Because you gotta think about it, he's holding an old lightsaber that has to deal with his past so much, and he's now himself.
I mean, he's doing what his grandfather couldn't.
Yes.
He's reliving. He's going back to the past and almost rectifying it in a sense.
Yes.
Explain what you mean by that, Sam.
Well, he's going back and he said he's finished what his grandfather started, but he did it in the way that it needed to be done. So he's going back and he's,
what was he finishing that his grandfather started?
Saving the one he loved.
Padme
Right.
or Rey.
Honestly,
it's like poetry.
It is, and it makes, when you understand these things, I get all of you that were big, huge Reylos that wanted the happy ending for Rey and Kylo and all of that. I understand, and I feel for you that this film was not what you wanted it to be. And I know that there were a lot, I've talked with Adam Lance Garcia and Steele Saunders, and neither of them really cared for The Rise of Skywalker, and I understand the criticisms of the film. But in the end, I think that there was no other direction you could have taken Ben Solo.
No.
Than this with it. And honestly, those moments, which I think were originally intended to be between Leia and Kylo, and not in the maybe a Force time vision type situation, but not Han Solo.
Mm.
Those moments, though, were powerful.
Yeah.
and it is his past. It's in this case, it's the shadows of his past. It's not a Force vision. We know that from the novelization. It's him just like hallucinating and reliving what happens in The Force Awakens,
right?
And coming to terms with his father and his dad and the murder of his father. And Leia is the one that's orchestrating this through the Force, is what's going on. He deals with his past, and then he becomes his father. He doesn't say another word after that scene in the entire film.
Really?
Not one single word, except for when he slams into the thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't say another single word, but his actions are Han Solo's actions.
Oh, yeah.
The mannerisms, the hands up, the shrugs, all of the shoot first kind of stuff, all of that. He becomes Han Solo.
Yeah.
At this point. And in a lot of ways, Anakin Skywalker and Leia and Luke all rolled into one with it. It's pretty beautiful. All right, so for this week's dad moment,
I am your father.
It's been said that those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. And while that's true, the past is a double-bladed lightsaber. You like what I did there?
Yeah, that's clever.
The past can teach us important lessons, but we must learn to let it go. In The Last Jedi, Kylo Ren had the right idea, but the wrong application. He wanted to be free of his past and all of its pressure and all of its baggage, but rather than killing it, he needed to simply embrace the good in it while letting go of the bad. We all have things in our past that we'd rather forget, but destroying the good along with it only brings us more regret and pain. We talked a lot about Thrawn in this episode, and we're talking about Rebels, and we're talking about possible Thrawn series, and he's the bad guy. So why don't we just talk about Thrawn next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
You guys excited about that?
I like Rebels.
All right, is there anything else that we want to talk about?
Anything else?
Kelly Marie Tran takes the lead role in Disney's, I'm going to botch this name, Raya and the Last Dragon.
Ooh, is there a Star Wars connection?
Ooh. Well, there already is.
Congratulations, Kelly Marie.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Don't listen to those stupid fans who don't like you for some reason.
Because they're stupid.
They're stupid.
Yeah,
hence the word stupid fans.
Stupid. They are stupid.
I guess I'm next. Star Wars explains why Palpatine could only be resurrected on Exegol. So apparently,
there's a reason.
The reason that they've released in the comic books is
wait, they released comic books?
Not of this film, but like they're talking about in the comics is that Exegol, the veil between life and death, like this like supernatural like barrier between life and death,
purgatory,
is super thin on Exegol. And so Darksiders that were obsessed, Sith Lords that were obsessed with eternal life and immortality and stuff, always gravitated towards Exegol before that. And that's why his Force Essence went there and why they built everything there.
Trippy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right, and we're learning more about the Star Wars Squadron's single-player campaign. There was recently a little trailer release talking about what that's going to entail, and it's looking good, y'all. We actually pre-ordered it.
Yay!
Finally.
Today.
I keep saying every episode, man, we need to pre-order Squadron. So we finally did. It'll download in 32 days, which was shorter than I expected, but it's still going to feel like forever. But the single-player campaign
and
looks
it
awesome.
will be VR when we get it.
Yes.
Everything.
And I will be able to do VR.
Yes.
X-Wings, A-Wings,
TIE Fighters,
B-Wings.
So if you're not
TIE
familiar
fighters.
with the campaign, you play a pilot on both the New Republic and the Empire. So you see both sides of it. And yes, the entirety of the game will be fully playable in VR.
It's like they keep having to mention this during everything.
Because it's a big deal.
It's a big deal, and they're like, people don't get it. We have the whole game in VR.
Like, not very many high-quality AAA games are released in VR.
We have to go back to this point.
We're not going to sit here and talk about
I
Star
know,
Wars
but it's
Squadron.
fantastic. It's VR. Whole game's in VR. It's a AAA title. It's
big name.
Big name. Like, yay.
It's a big company.
Yeah, really big company. And it's going to have a campaign. It's going to probably have a fantastic multiplayer, and it's only for $40. I'm wondering.
That's a good
No, they've
deal.
explained why, and I don't remember. I've researched it.
Are they basically trying to apologize for what they did?
There's a reason why, and I don't remember what it was, but gamers were like, "Oh, that makes sense because it's only this type of game."
Well, it's a shorter game. It's mostly multiplayer based, and you don't want $60 for just a multiplayer.
So anyway, all right. What else we got to do here, bud?
All right. So, please give us a rating and review.
Please.
Now you can do it on iTunes. Dad still forgot to take off Spotify and Google Podcasts.
And whatever your podcatcher is, find it.
Yeah,
and see if you
yeah.
can give us a review.
You can also give us a review on.
It really means more on iTunes, just so you know.
Yeah, because it helps people.
So go to your Mac or your iTunes file and do it, please.
It helps people go and find the show and understand why they should watch it.
Why are we whispering?
I don't know, because you started.
All right, so anyway.
And you can also go to the local Best Buy and give us a rating and review on every single phone.
We've done this.
We have.
We've done this.
There's like 15 phones, and we gave us a rating on every single one.
I don't think we gave ourselves a review because we didn't log in, but we rated it. So anyway.
Yeah. So yeah.
And go ahead and while you're on your phone giving us a rating, because you should be. Go ahead and follow us on all our social media platforms. It's all at Tatooine Sons, SONS. You should know
Makes
how
it
it's
really
spelled.
easy.
You're watching the podcast.
Listening.
Yeah. Join like us on Facebook. Join our discussion group. We have a Tatooine Sons discussion group. It's called Tatooine Sons discussion group. It's really easy to find. Yeah, we try to make this as simple as possible.
For our sake, not yours. We don't think bad about you.
Yeah, no.
We just...
And the reason why we want you in there is there's new opportunities coming for you to maybe interact with us and stuff. So you might want to be a part of that. Plus, we'll really reveal all of this on Tuesday. 5:15
Eastern.
Eastern.
Is when we're going to start.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about it, and it'll only be on our discussion group. So if you want to see that video, make sure you join the discussion group. And then go ahead and follow us on Instagram and Twitter, all at Tatooine Sons. Yeah, that's about all I've got to say.
All right. That's going to pretty much do it. Anything else you guys want to say?
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you, always.
This party's over.
I like that Wookiee.
Don't get technical with me.
Join, please.
Yep, yep.